Hi, and welcome to this lesson on Introduction to Algebra. So I've split this lesson into several smaller miniature lessons because I think it's really important that we practice and understand each individual part rather than sitting down and doing one enormous intense lesson. So we're going to start today's session by looking at expressions. Now, in maths, expressions are when we write things in terms of numbers and letters, but we don't have an equal sign. That's right, we do not have an equal sign. So it's not like a sum or an equation. It's when we're writing something that we don't yet know what the answer is going to be, which sounds really confusing, but it can actually be super duper helpful. So a few quick rules about algebra that I want to quickly explain, and then we're going to move on to how we can form some expressions. So algebra is when we use letters to represent things we don't know. So for example, I might have a bag with M sweets in it. I don't know how many sweets there are. I haven't counted them yet, but I use M to say there's a number of sweets in there. I just don't know what the number is. And in algebra, we can write some things around that letter. So if I had 2 packets of sweets, I would say I have 2 times M, but we write this in maths as 2M. The times is invisible. And the reason for that is mathematicians are super duper lazy, okay? They don't want to write anything they don't have to write. So if there isn't a times, there's just a number next to a letter, that secretly means they're times together. Similarly, if I just have a single letter, like X, that means I've got one of them. But we don't write 1x because, again, we're too lazy to remember to write that. So we just write x, but x is the same as just having 1x. And finally, if we have a number on its own, like 5, that means it's positive, but we don't write +5. We just assume that it's positive. Okay, now this will make a bit more sense when we actually have a go, and especially when we have a go at the next video, which is solving equations, which is going to be super duper cool. So let's have a little look at how we can form expressions, and to help us with this, I've come up with some example questions. Now there is a worksheet that goes with this lesson. It's absolutely free. It also has answers, so you can have a go and then mark your own work. And if you've done amazingly, put a little gold star for yourself on the top of your page. The questions that are in the worksheet are exactly the same kind as this kind right here. So Alan is Y years old. It means we don't know how old Alan is. Okay, we know he's some number of years old, but we don't know how many. And he has 8 sisters. Oh my goodness, 8 sisters. Write an expression for how old each sister is. So Beth is 3 years older than Alan. So how can we write that mathematically as an expression? Well, if Alan, I've just realised I'm not annotating. If I don't annotate, then I won't be able to write, will I? If Alan is Y years old, then Beth is 3 more years older than Alan, and we would write that as Y plus 3. So if Alan was 10, Beth would be 10 plus 3, which is 13. So it doesn't matter that we don't know what Y is. We know that Beth is 3 more years older than Alan, and so we can write that as Y plus 3. Let's have a go then at B. Clara is 2 years younger than Alan. How could we write that? Have a go now. Have a go. How could we write Clara is 2 years younger than Alan? Well, we could write that as Y take away 2. Did you get it right? Don't worry if you didn't. This stuff is very, very tricky. And if you did, brilliant. Well done. Next one. Donna is 3 times Alan's age. Okay, so how do I make something 3 times 3 times Alan's age, which is y, because we don't know what it is. And if we're going to be really, really picky, we're going to write this like a mathematician, because we're big grown-up mathematicians now. And so we're going to write that as 3y. Excellent. Have a go at the next one. Emma is half Alan's age. Half. Have a go. What do you think it would be? Emma is half Alan's age. So we could write this in 2 different ways. We find this in maths. Sometimes we can do things multiple different ways. So we could either say this is y divided by 2, because when we halve things, we divide it into 2, don't we? Or we could say it's y times a half. Oh, my y is a little bit skewer. And both of those are correct. So did you get it? That one was extra tricky, wasn't it? So round of applause for you if you managed to get that one right. Fiona is 2 years younger than Donna. We're not on Alan anymore. Donna. Donna was 3y, wasn't she? Donna was 3y. So if Fiona is 2 years younger than Donna, then Fiona is going to have to be 3y minus 2. Now, do you notice that none of these have an equals, do they? They're just expressions. We don't put an equals. Don't know what they're equal to because we don't know how old Alan is. And finally, Georgia is twice Beth's age. Okay, well, Beth, where was Beth? Beth was y plus 3. So Georgia is going to be 2 times y plus 3 because she is double Beth's age. And that is how we form expressions. So go off and have a practice because maths is all about practicing what we know. And I will see you in the next video to finish the second half of our worksheet in solving equations. I can't wait. Have fun practicing and I'll see you next time. Bye.